Hey, welcome to another meditation hour session where I'm going to be meditating for an hour using Vipassana technique, which is to focus on my breath and body sensations. And the key part of Vipassana is to focus on these sensations as well as the breath with equanimous, and make sure that when you observe any of the sensations and breath, you're not caught up with the nature of the sensation. So if the sensation which you're experiencing is pleasantful, it's very important to not just be caught up in that pleasure. On the other end, if the nature of the sensation is painful or suffering, then it's important to be not caught up in that pain and suffering. And the attitude to disconnect yourself from these sensations come from developing the mindset of equanimity. And I believe with great equanimity comes great power, because when you are equanimous, then you will be calm and non-reactive in different situations. Could be in day-to-day stressful situations, or could be in very critical situations, so which could decide your life or your career or whatever is important to you. And the ability to remain calm in those situations comes by constantly, if not constantly, at least by developing a habit of calming yourself and not reacting to the external forces or external situation. And that itself is the art of developing developing equanimity of your mindset. And Vipassana is very good training tool to develop equanimity, because then when you focus just on your breath and body sensation and let go of those body sensations. If it's painful, you observe the pain. You don't have to rationalize. You don't have to know the source of the pain. You just have to know that, or observe that there is a pain, and that pain could be caused by any reason. It could be because of the posture in which I'm sitting. It could be because of the food I ate. It could be because of whatever reason. But just observing the nature of the pain itself and not associating with that pain will, in a way, take you to a place where you can pretty much let go of that pain. And I by no means mean that using Vipassana you can definitely let go of your pain, but it definitely helps, because study by study we know that placebo effect is real. If you believe that your pain is cured, then you will experience that your pain is cured. And that's the whole reason drug companies research, using their drugs to make sure that what are the result of what are the effect of their medication versus placebo, because our belief system is strong enough to get rid of even pain. So coming back to Vipassana technique, when you sit down and just observe the pain and let go of the pain, your mind body can actually let go of the pain, and the chances are you might not feel the pain in the same way. And developing that equanimity is very, very difficult, to be honest with you, because whenever you're meditating, your mind will wander into the past or into the future, which interestingly activates the same or similar neural pathways. So basically, in your mind's eye, the past and the future are very, 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 very similar. And in a way, you are imagining both when you're imagining the future or anticipating the future, or just recalling the past, which is sort of imagination. So as you try to let go of these imaginations, of these places where you wander off, you are developing a mindset where you can not be caught up in the situations around you, in the narration around you. So there will be a lot of times when people will doubt you, when you yourself might doubt you on your capabilities. And at that time, it's important to understand that some of these noises are sort of your perception, and you can just let go of those noises, and you would automatically see the change in your attitude and behavior. So developing equanimity is very, very important, and it's going to become more and more important going in the future because of so many available distractions, such as, obvious distraction of mobile phones and using internet at large. And even if you do not consider those as distraction, there are already so many other factors contributing in your life, like maybe your work, which is distracting you and forcing you to think in a specific way. And there is a research, and it's a proof that people are creating this false narrative, which are adding stress to their life. So just by back in the day, when stress was a feature of evolution, because depending on the situation, if you're caught up in the middle of all the predators, then that stress, that anxiety of a sort can pump adrenaline into your body, and you can gain so much energy that you can probably run away or fight the predators. So run away from the predators, of course. And those flight and fight response are triggered in our day-to-day life because of the false stressful narrations. So if you're running late to a meeting, those same flight and fight responses sort of triggered when when you, because you feel that you are in some sense threatened, and just amplify that for all the other reasons you feel stressful. And those stress is sort of a story you're absorbing for your body. So it's sort of like a memory for your body. And not just that stress, but every other sensations which you experience throughout your day, throughout your life so far, is absorbed in your body. And I am not sure, I'm not claiming that the body sort of accumulate these sensations, but there's a real good chances that depending on some of the repetitive experiences your body is triggered, your muscle memory learn to react in a specific way. And that's where the PTSD comes from, right? Because when people who went through traumatic experience are encounter the same triggering points, their body itself start having those panic attacks and start reacting in the way the body reacted when they were in that original experience. So in some sense, body stores these sensations, and whenever you trigger a specific memory or a specific situation, these sensations come out and exhibit in different sort of feelings and expressions. And by practicing Vipassana and letting go of these sensations, you can observe, you can acknowledge, and you can let go. If you were in a very stressful situation, and if you just address to that situation, understand, you can make it, just address to those situations, let go of that sensation within your body, whatever sensation that bubbling up, and once you let go, you will observe that you have greater control, greater power over that situation. And that's exactly what I mean when I say with great equanimity comes great power. So when you are in the center of the storm, like the eye of the storm or eye of the hurricane, that's one of the most peaceful place in the entire storm. So, which is super fascinating, right? Because storm is built because of water molecules or air molecules and rushing with hundreds of miles per hour, and one of the most calmest spot within that storm is in the center, the eye of the storm. So in a way, the most powerful place within the storm is that eye. And when you are dealing with different situations, different stressful environment, and if you can manage to remain calm and focused, then that itself helps you to gain control over the situation, and you can analyze. If you're more like a rational person, then you can analyze, or more like an analytical person, then you can analyze the situation and take the best path forward. And at the very least, you will not be reacting to those situations, and you can just calmly focus on what's going on around you and take a proactive action instead of just reacting to whatever is thrown at you. So in either way, if you're an analytical person or if you're a more of an actionable person, I guess, or emotional person, in both ways you can use equanimity to gain calmness and control over the situation. And with that control, you gain power. And we all know that with great power comes great responsibility. So my goal is to develop this equanimous attitude towards most of the things in my life. And whenever I'm encountered with any sort of stressful situation, I'm going to practice to be equanimous within that situation, and then act with a specific set of action. So having said that, I'm gonna start my 1 hour meditation right now. And normally I like to play some sound in the background and close my eyes and just focus on my breath and sensations. But I've observed that plenty of times I doze off, or just if I'm super tired, I just sometimes I don't know if I snore, but probably in one of those videos I might have snored too. So depending on how much tired I am, I might just kind of doze off. So one of the new things which I'm trying to do is to describe while meditating some of the times when I wander off, and when I bring back myself to the reality, to ground myself. And whenever I wander off and I observe that I need to come back, I will try to describe it out loud. So it could be more of in some sense, more of a data to see how many times I observe myself wander off. All right, I'll see you in an hour. Hey Google, set an alarm for an hour from now.
Got it. Your alarm's set for 9:39 p.m.
Right now, I'm focusing on my breath. I'm observing I'm observing the breath the second I inhale and observing the sensations I feel within my lungs and observing the breath as I exhale. I observe that there is a temperature difference between the air outside and the air within my nostrils. It's warmer in my nostrils. I observe that my breath is a bit shallow. I observe my chest expanding and contracting depending on when I inhale and exhale. I observe that the air is touching my upper lip. I observe there are different sensations throughout my body, and I'll start body scan to observe sensations across all the body parts. I observe that the cold air flowing from the fan is touching the top of my head. I observed that my mind wandered. I observed that there is some tension in my neck. I observed that my mind wandered. I observed that my mind wandered. I observed that my eyelids are pretty heavy. I observed that my right cheek needs to be scratched. I observe a little warmth on my forehead. I observe various sensations on my left arm. I observe the point at which my arm is touching my knee. I observe the warmth around my wrist, on my left wrist. I observe my right arm touching my right knee. I observe that my index finger is touching my thumb. I observe that my mind wandered. I observe various sensations on my torso and on my back. I observe the weight of my hand on my left knee. I observe all the various points. My left leg is connecting with my right leg. I observe the connection point of my right hand and my right knee, and the weight of right hand on the right knee. I observe there are a lot of different places on my body where I want to scratch. So I observe there are a lot of itchy places on my body. I observe that my mind wandered. I observe that my mind wandered. I observe that my mind wandered. I observed that my mind wandered. I observed that my mind wandered. I observed that my mind wandered. 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 Felt a sensation on my right side of the head, which felt sort of like a wire lit up. My mind wandered. 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 Hey Google, stop. Well, it's a process, a real long process. Someday I feel like my meditation session went really well, and someday I feel like there's a long way to go. So every day is a new, fresh start in some sense, but I believe that all the attention and the focus and the practice of bringing back my wandering brain or mind into reality gonna create a new pattern, a new habit of being equanimous at any given place and any given situation. And that, my friends, is how you create power. Thanks for joining me in this live meditation hour session. And until next time, stay peaceful.